Did y'all see this fraternity that was caught on cam doing some very heinous hazing? Wow. So the video looked insane. It looked like the dungeons of Dagestan, the way that folks were moving. But the cop walks in, looks around. Where your clothes though? Around like 50 some shirtless white boys down in the basement sewer, covered in ketchup, covered in mustard, covered in liquor, all just standing there with their head down. It felt like this ominous wave of energy was coming throughout that basement. The cop goes, "What's going on? Are you the head of this? Are you doing this?" The guy comes out. He says, "Oh, I mean, yeah, I don't live. I live here, but I don't own it." They go ask him, "Who owns this? Can you show me who's the person that runs all this?" They say, I don't run it, but we can walk you. I don't know." Everybody was saying no, like it was the mafia. They were moving like if anybody said anything, they would get murked immediately. And honestly, the one dude in the white hoodie, I was waiting for some police brutality to start happening to him. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am not gonna hold you. But it was moving crazy. And it just reminds me that white privilege is so ingrained in society, because bro was he started moving the police officer. He was like, "Hey man, let's go and talk away from my pledges." And then the cop was like, "Who is this? What is going on? Do you own this place?" And "This is our house." And then the cop looks at the other guy's like, "Oh, so you do live here, huh? So you are part of this." "Yeah, bro, you're all going to jail." Everybody getting wrapped up with this one. Oh, but let me read some of the excerpts from it. Okay, so disturbing videos from the University of Iowa campus police. It shows an alleged hazing incident at Alpha Delta Phi fraternity house in November 2024, leading to its suspension until 2029. Wow. First of all, I always wonder how stuff like that works, because it's there's bread that gets funneled into the house, right? Because you have the people that are the pledges, and then you have alumni that donate, and then you have what's some other stuff? There's fundraising events as well, which I'm not saying that stuff will generate a whole ton of money for a college, but I feel like a school not Iowa specifically, but let's say you go down south some more, you go Texas, right? Oh. Where fraternities has been a big thing for a very, very long time. That is a core reason why some folks decide to go to some schools too, alongside sports teams. So now I'm asking you, how big of an ass whooping is the head D go for give y'all? Because this is crazy. This is so crazy. The footage reveals 56 male pledges blindfolded in the basements. First responders were called to the house for a fire alarm and found pledges covered in ketchup, mustard, and liquor. I be having sympathy for folks that be doing their job, and their job is just not what they thought their job was going to be. Imagine you pull up to a spot thinking there's going to be a fire, and you just see naked children. What are we doing? Who is responsible? I couldn't imagine. You pull up to work, you go to this fire alarm situation, think there's gonna be a fire, and then there's a prick frat boy that's in your face talking down on you like you are one of his pledges. You're doing too much. You're doing too much, in my opinion. And it brings me to this question: would I allow my sons to join a fraternity? And I have so many mixed feelings about it, because of going to a frat seems like one of the most fun, including, extroverting. It feels like even though you're paying for friendship, you're paying a good premium for said friendship, you could be getting some money back. You could really be setting yourself up for life and you don't even know it. But even before we talk about the setting yourself up for life part, I want to hit on the fun part. You could throw some parties with your homies all the time, every weekend, and you're known as the party spot. One thing I will say, I don't like the way that frats I don't like the way the frats run their parties. They be acting out of hand, at least at the white ones. Oh, the white ones have given me so much trauma. I want to run that back. I want to spin back and get my revenge because this is obscene. I remember I pulled up to a frat once and I was always told from the movies, you gotta at least bring girls. You gotta bring people. You got to make it worth their while, especially if you're not in the frat. Can we talk about how the fact that frats are designed to hoard all the women into one spot? And when I tell you they only let frat boys that are in the frat in that said party, y'all are wildin'. Y'all are wildin' and greedy. Back to my story. There's a frat going on. There's a frat party. I get invited, mind you. So I'm like, oh, beautiful. I hit up my homegirl. She's up some of her homegirls. Hit up some of my home peoples. It's cool. It's calm. We head over. Like 10 deep. All of us are beautiful. Bunch of baddies walking around. We get to the door. Boom, 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 boom. Door opens. This white dude looks at me. Looks up and down. I already know there's some trouble. Brother say, who you know? I say their name. He don't live here. I don't know who that is. Who you talking about? I said, oh, I'm like, man, don't even worry about it. It's this guy. He's been in the frat for long. He told me to pull up, bring some friends, bring some girls. It's cool, and we're chilling. He's like, nah, man. We're at capacity. Okay, I see. Okay, we're at capacity. I see this white boy coming in. Him and like 5 other frat boys walk in. And when I tell you, so I'm like, oh, I thought y'all at capacity. He's like, no, we know him. We know him. And I'm thinking to myself, not only are you telling me that I can't go hang out with my homies, number 2, you are telling me I'm so not welcomed that there is no chance in hell that you even want me inside this function. Even when I have brought people, I've brought beautiful black women, right? And then it hits, even before we get there. So I brought black women into it. And now you're looking at me and telling me, now you want me to look like a fool in front of these new friends. You made me want to look like a fool in front of the... I see what you're doing. It has to be racism. Everybody, this is racism going on. Yup, this is the racism I be talking about. So we end up going to this football party. It was all fun games, great time, beyond the point. But let's talk about frat parties. So, would I want... let me talk about the fun part still. Okay. Honestly, I think the fun parts only come from going to like a black frat. So I do take this back. If a black frat, probably I am still pro being an alpha or like let my daughter go be an AKA. I've heard some mythical things about some AKAs, but that's not the point of this video. It could be fun letting them still explore, live their life, do the whole 9 yards. That could be cool. That could be calm. But I feel like there's such a hierarchy that sets up the fraternization that will lead to some negative hazing. Because I don't want my kids to ever feel like they need to do something that they don't want to do to be a part of a friend group. And not even to mention a friend group of lames. And the more that I think about frats, I start peeping, moving with hierarchies, moving like a mafia. And you know what's going to happen? You know how it moves? Now, administration will never know. They will never know about what's going on in a frat party or like hazing incidents or things of that nature because of you can live it up. You will do insane things. I'm talking about folks is paddling each other, Berkeley's type of thing. if you don't know what that is, hold on, let's rewind a little bit. I remember I was talking to one of my homies. He ended up being a frat at a school down south, and he was talking about this experience with the beer Achilles, or or an Edward 40 or an Edward 40 hands type of vibe, right? You put your hands out like this, and you put a 40 in both hands. No, he was from the West Coast. I think it was from was he in Beyond the Point? Not the Point. So he's on the West Coast. He was playing Edward 40 hands. He got his hands out. You wrap 40s around your hands with tape. And then if you want to get these off your hands, you got to finish drinking them both to get them off your hands. Crazy intoxication, right? No one will ever hear about it, because guess what? You want to be there. That is your dream, to be a part of the system. And guess what? There will be hundreds of kids that would pray to be where you are right now, because of the benefits that come after all the hazing and the down talk and you have to do everything your pledges say for 48 hours. Pause. After all that, you're in the in group, and there's something about the group cohesion and the identity forming that you get from living in such heinous-y. Because let me remind you, you are not the only one that's suffering. Your whole frat class is suffering. Your pledges, your fellow pledge mates. And you know what? If you give up on your pledge mate, you are giving up on your homie, on your teammate, on your family. So now it's like, hey, are you the type of man to give up on your peoples? I don't think you want to be labeled as someone that's going to give up on your peoples. That's crazy. That's bad work. That's bad juju. Honestly, we need you out of here. Get out. We don't even want you here anymore. But back to it. There's this one, there's been some academic findings when it comes to people that suffer together, specifically in team-oriented sports, how they tend to, quote-unquote, form a stronger bond with each other due to the hardships that they've both received, or the group as a whole has been receiving. And they do these type of things to make you feel interconnected with everybody in the fraternity. And guess what? There is an overarching control to the image and your self-image that is also going around. But I would like to say, there is some blessings at that end of the tunnel. What's the one saying? 70% of the Fortune 500 CEOs are all frat bros. And there's this thing. Let's talk about the business side of it. Like, you try to go get you a job. The job market is already bad, and you out here competing with nieces and nephews of folks that actually work at the company already. So you gotta do something that stands out. So you guess what? Go be a part of that frat. And when they see that resume, they'll be like, "Oh, I went here. Oh, I'm a what's one of their things? I'm a Alpha Beta. And then guess what? Now you're in the door. You're already in there like swimwear. But imagine if you don't participate in all that hazing and all that nonsense. Now you homeless. What do you want to be? What do you want to do? You want to be homeless or get paddled a couple times? So that's the question. So in long short of it all, would I let my kids join frats and sororities? Honestly, sororities, maybe not. I've heard some heinous things from sororities. Some real eating disorder nonsense from sororities. But that'll be another conversation I have with some of the homegirls.